Bob, you're a big Hooters fan.
No, say, I'm a big Hooters fan.
You.
Me?
Silly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a big Hooters fan.
So, can't you say it, geez, like, I'm a big Hooters fan.
Oh, you want more feeling?
Yeah.
All right. I'm a big Hooters fan.
That's feeling.
That's so stupid. Why?
Bear with me.
Humor
All
us.
right.
Say, I'm Susan Berkeley.
I'm Susan Berkeley.
Now say, I'm Susan Berkeley and I'm a douche with big Hooters.
No!
Come on, please.
No way.
Please.
No. I'm not going to say that.
I love it when she squeals like that.
Yeah, let me hear you squeal. You a hockey fan, Susan?
No.
I wonder how her fuzzy goal is.
Oh, she must be into soccer. You know, she's married to that Brazilian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
soccer's okay.
She likes her balls with spots.
Yeah, that's Oh, dear.
Did you ever try to pick up a soccer ball with your hands behind your back? Squatting over a soccer ball?
Oh, it's good to be back on Monday morning.
How about a little tonsil hockey?
Oh, gross. That is disgusting. It's awful.
Ray, I don't want to give her a hard time on a Monday.
No,
Come on.
it's early yet. We've got
You know,
all
the
week.
The tonsil hockey jokes and picking up the volleyball with her private parts is kind of silly, isn't it?
You don't want to use all your material.
Just say, I'm Susan Berkeley and I'm a douche with big Hooters.
No way!
Sign off like that every time.
Oh, shut up. No way. That's awful.
You know, we can't help her. You know, we try to do things to improve her career, and she just balks every time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Don't be a bimbo. Want to see my cricket bat? All right. Anyway, why don't you do the traffic and,
You guys are going to like this story. We had a tractor-trailer on the southbound Cross Island Parkway, south of the Grand Central. It's in the right lane. It hit an overpass, but it was carrying 60,000 pounds of cow manure. And they have to offload that. It's going to take 3 hours.
I like this story, don't you, Ray?
This is my favorite kind of story.
Well, you know, it adds a little color to the traffic. You have to use the Clearview Expressway. Also, in Suffolk County, the westbound LIE was slow for 5 miles approaching exit 55 Long Island Motor Parkway. There's an eastbound truck fire. In Mount Kisco, Kisco Avenue is closed between southbound Sawmill exit ramp and Croton Avenue because of a down pole. In Brooklyn, the northbound BQE heavy from Williamsburg
My pole isn't down.
to McInnes Humboldt Street. Disabled truck in the right lane.
Apps. Features include
Oh, you shut up. Werewolf. Sasquatch.
I think I started doing stand-up because my sister was always so good at telling stories at the dinner table, you know? She was always like, and that's what I do at home now. I just bring a flashlight around and a Mr. Microphone. Make sure it's still working. And it's only awkward around the holidays. I try to keep it up. And my sister would be at the dinner table. I'd be like, oh, Mom and Dad, I did this one. Right, good story, Maria. Okay, so I'm doing this autopsy, right? That's not even the story. Okay, so Steve comes in from down the hall. He's doing laser surgery, right? Like burning flash, burning flash. He comes in. It's like lunchtime. He's like, oh my God, I had to get out of there because I'm so hungry. It smells like a barbecue. Because we're just meat, you guys. I probably taste pretty good. I have a high fat content. Maria one tastes pretty good. She tastes like Diet Coke jerky. Oh, I love my sister, and sometimes I'm alone in that. Okay.
Look, you stumbled onto this channel. You're probably not happy about it. Well, I got news for you. The guy whose show you're about to hear is even less happy about it. Grab a seat, kick back, smoke a joint, drink something, because the buzz will only help. Welcome to the Jay Thomas Show.
All right. I'm coming to you from New Orleans, still to my church studios here. And I didn't know it was Mardi Gras. That's how stupid I am. I got a cheap ticket and I flew on a Monday to work from here and do a bunch of other stuff. And then I realized it was Mardi Gras. Then we're going to try and do like a little Mardi Gras thing. You can't get anywhere. It's packed with nuts every place. And people dressed as, there was a dog parade last night, the Barkus, or 2 nights ago. You need to go out of your way one of these years, Christina, and come to Barkus.
Is it anything
hundreds.
Like Puppy Bowl? Because I've been to that.
No, it's hundreds of dogs marching through the street.
I'll never
it's fabulous.
leave.
And they're all dressed up, and they have clown suits, and they have,
What'd you do? Did you lay in the street last night and talk to each one? Oh, my precious.
Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
I actually watched the
Your phone
Puppy
must have been
Bowl
ringing off the hook.
and the Kitten Bowl. I watched that. I watched those two. But anyway, so I know it was a great disappointment, this Super Bowl. And what it was all week long, I'm going, this Cam Newton, and they're talking to the Carolina Panthers, Steve. It was as if they'd already won the game,
Yeah.
And so right before the game, there are these services, and and guys pay for them. Like they'll pay big money, and so supposedly the guy is going to give you, winners. And the one that my friend uses actually has given a lot of winners, and he's a big Carolina fan. Well, it came back 5 stars, Denver, +6, and nobody won. I bet like both ends of it and ended up just breaking even because it was almost like, they went into daddy's back room, and they got the shit beaten out of them. They were rattled. I know that feeling. On whatever level you're on, that feeling when you get rattled, like even as a comic or it has certainly happened to me as a radio announcer. You're rattled. You get in there and it's you think it's going to be good, and then shit starts happening, and you don't know. Cam Newton didn't know what planet he was on after chasing his ass around, hitting him, and knocking him down. And is it just me? The commercials
sucked.
They're terrible, right? The commercials were absolutely terrible. The only one. I'm trying to think. I thought the Seth Rogen thing was bad. What was the one with the dog licking and that kissy
Puppy monkey baby?
Monkey baby?
It's like, everybody thinks babies are super cute and monkeys are super cute.
Baby puppy monkey?
Yeah, it was Mountain Dew. So it had a puppy's face, a monkey's upper body, and then baby legs as the diaper.
Yeah, it looked like something that was trapped in Chernobyl. It looked like, a dog that had been drinking water from Flint, Michigan. What else? A dog that had been bitten by a Zika mosquito. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It was creepy looking, and I'm trying to think of the one, Helen Mirren for Budweiser, basically telling you not to drink and drive. That is the most ludicrous thing. It's like those signs by the casino. Come in, loose slots, $1 million winner, blah, blah, blah. And at the bottom it goes, gambling problem? 1-800, we don't give a shit. Or whatever is there. It's ridiculous. And then, after all of the great stuff that he's done, I really thought it was cheesy that Peyton Manning was doing the beer plugs. I think he got paid $100,000 for each time he said Budweiser, Steve.
Is that what it was? I was wondering that and Papa John's.
Did he say Papa John's?
I think at one point he did, but he said Budweiser a ton of times. And I loved when Papa John himself came running over to Peyton, gave him a big hug and a kiss.
Well, now, that's just like, front row seat, pal kind of a thing. But the Budweiser thing, first of all, he's being interviewed. He's a nice guy, saying all the nice things and all. And then he all of a sudden says, I can tell you one thing, whatever.
I got a couple of priorities. I'm going to drink a lot of Budweiser tonight, Tracy, and I promise you that.
$100,000. Mm-hmm. Then later, the second part of the interview, he screwed up, and he just said, I'm going to drink a lot of beer. And I'm looking at the TV going, what's he doing talking about drinking? And his wife and kids are like, right over there getting ready to kiss him. And then I think he remembered, I'm not supposed to just say beer. I have to say Budweiser. So he don't worry about that. I'll get them to tell me the phones. You don't have to tell me what the, what phone calls are coming in,
okay.
Christina. Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was cheesy. You've just won the Super Bowl. You're rich as hell. And, okay, yeah, look, who would turn it down? But it was a cheesy sponsor, didn't you think? It's like, it's not like I'm going to Disney.
It was a little weird, but it's also kind of funny from Peyton, I thought. It's just an odd thing that you don't know. Normally you're seeing him, and I was expecting him to go, I'm going to Disney World. But he just kept saying,
drink a lot of beer? It was almost like I'm suddenly like a drunk. I'm suddenly like a big drunk.
I mean, I think he was obviously he was being paid for that, so it was like an advertisement. But he was also trying to say, I'm going to go celebrate. I'm going to go hang out with my family, drink some beer. But it's specifically Budweiser because they just put money in my pocket.
Huge money. And then every time he would say it, the announcers, they were kind of stunned. They weren't told it was going to happen. So he's using, who was it? CBS. He's using CBS to plug, and make money, which is cool. It was just really awkward, I thought. Really odd. To me, he looked tired and he looked old. I mean, we're talking about a guy 39 years old, which is kind of stupid. But he looked tired and he seemed old to me. He had an okay game. And he's lucky he's got that defense, and he ought to retire. Not even fool around. By the way, where are the scars on his neck? No scars.
From the neck surgeries.
No, but there are no scars.
Yeah, there are. You can see it on the back of his neck.
You can?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know they're arthroscopic and all that, but I couldn't see it.
He's got at least one, vertical slit on the back of his neck, like where his spine would be.
I mean, a buddy of mine said that what he had was really one of these ones where, one slip or if he screws it up or the doctor screws it up or whatever. Yeah, screwed up forever. Forever and ever, and ever. So he's got to, how much money does he need? Here's the sad thing. For all of you that are listening who are 37, 38, whatever, and your lives are just starting, I don't care how much money you have. He's been married for 12 years or whatever. Boring. And so is the brother. Boring. They're super rich. They both have $100-something million contracts plus with all the other endorsements and everything else. And you're 39 years old. Jesus. I just can't imagine anything more boring. This would be the time you would get married. You would have played. You would have screwed every woman. You would have had every Budweiser. You would have spent all your money, everything else. Now you retire, and you marry some 30-year-old woman when you're 40. That's the way you're supposed to do it. I'm telling you, I tell my kids this all the time. It's a long haul. It's an absolute long haul. Next time you travel, like I just did, coming into New Orleans, look at everybody in the plane. Anyone that's kissing and hugging, either they're not married or they're just coming back from couples therapy. That's it. That's all there is to it. But most people are just sitting there staring straight ahead. And I'm looking at him going, he's going to retire. And he's 39, something like that. And then you're home with the brats. He's going to stay home with the brats. Oh, please. And then he had a mansion. They showed some mansion. I guess it's in Denver. Holy shit. Now, here's the thing. Do you think Aaron Rodgers will stay in Green Bay, Wisconsin? If you lived it's a nice place and all, but you're immensely wealthy, and houses don't cost that much there. And then you retire, and you're from California. I wouldn't have bought. I'd have rented. If they sent me, I'm sure Cleveland's a wonderful place, but if they sent me to Cleveland, I'd have rented. I'd have rented. If you're in L.A. And so yeah, it was okay. It was a defensive battle. It was, I wasn't at a party. I don't like Super Bowl parties and all that kind of shit. And you know what was kind of fun? They didn't run, I didn't see any, they didn't run any political ads. Nobody bought a political ad, or they didn't allow them, I guess. Because I would have bought a political ad during the Super Bowl, unless I missed it. Did you see one?
I didn't see one.
Yeah, wouldn't you have spent like a couple of $1 million in a political ad? Or maybe that's not the right thing to do? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
You would have
Rubio
expected it.
Come on there sweating. You come on there like sweating. We haven't talked
himself over and over again.
Oh my God. You know, like the movie Mean Girls when they just train their evil on a new person, right?
Yep.
They just train their evil on him and beat the shit out of him. You know, they just beat the piss out of him.
He deserved every part of that. That was the best thing that Chris Christie could have ever done was be like, oh, here it goes again. Everybody watch. Here, there he goes.
Oh, and you know what's wonderful about Chris Christie? He's like this big bully guy, right? He's got the bully stomach. He's got the bully face. He's the bully bulldog. He's a big bully bulldog. And so when he started all of that, I'm looking at it going, holy shit, it's really fun, you know? And Rubio, he's 44 years old, but he seems like a little kid. I'm telling you, these guys that get married when they're like 28 years old or whatever, 26 years old, I'm telling you, then what? Then what? You're with the fucking mother on the weekends and the mother-in-law and the father, and you got I visited my niece and her husband, and I think my niece is 40, and the husband's like 42 or 43, and the kids are really little, right? It was driving me nuts just to be there for the weekend. I pushed the truck for a few seconds or whatever. I hated all that shit. All of it. And you have to pretend you like it, and they tell you how important it is. I'd like any of you to call any of your children right now who are in their 20s. Call them and say, do you remember when mommy or daddy, because you got to be politically correct, do you remember the times that I would take you and I'd put you in the backpack and I'd walk 2 miles down to the sandbox? No, I don't remember that. They don't remember anything. Nothing. Remember when we went swimming or something? Yeah, they'll remember the swimming or whatever. But they really don't. You don't have, like Donald Trump was hardly ever with his children, and they love him. They absolutely love him. He even said I was a rotten husband, but a great dad, because when I was with him, I did all kind of great shit, you know. And then he left, and he went away. So I don't know. By the way, Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy have asked me to tell you, We've Been Thinking tour powered by SiriusXM Sweepstakes. It's a sweepstakes to see them, right? And you can hear them on Jeff and Larry's Comedy Roundup on SiriusXM Channel 97, which is 3 clicks away from where we are right now. And then you can see them live. And SiriusXM will have your chance to win a pair of these tickets to Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy. I don't know Jeff Foxworthy. I know Larry or Steve or Dick, whatever he calls himself. So it's the We've Been Thinking tour powered by SiriusXM. Plus, you're going to meet the guys at the show if you win this sweepstakes. So the official rules and how to enter, you go to SiriusXM.com/Jeff and Larry Tour before April 18th. No purchase is necessary. Do you think they read any ads for me when we did our live show?
No, but I'm going to be sending them over now.
What do you mean?
For the next live thing that we do. You're damn right I'm sending it over.
You're going to send it over?
Yeah, and I'm going to say, hey, we scratch your back, you scratch ours.
Yeah. Yeah, send it over there. Dear Jay, speaking of football, Rooney Mara, the actress that you talked about, her great-grandfather on one side owned the Steelers, and the other one owns the New York Giants. So, yes, she is the heir to somewhere in there of billions of dollars, multiple, like 10 billion if you put both teams together. She is the direct descendant, like 3 down, okay? She's in there. And I know they're Catholics and all that, but still, there's even if you have 11 children. And she's in the top tier because it would have been her granddad, maybe it was a great-granddad, I don't know. Then it would have been her granddad, then her parents. And that's it. And so Steely tells me that Rooney Mara is the most eligible human being alive. Sexy. She is a good actress, by the way. 2 separate multi-billion-dollar organizations. And her sister, Kate, is very attractive in a wolf face sort of a way.
I don't know about that.
You know that sister? You know her?
Yeah. I think Kate's very attractive. I don't know what the wolf comment is. But teach her.
Wolf face?
Yeah.
Well, they say that Sarah Jessica Parker kind of has a horse face.
Yeah, no one will argue that one, though.
You know, I worked with her, I think, when she was young. I don't think that's her original nose.
No.
The other night...
Not much better, though.
I was watching Ed Wood, which I'd never seen, the Johnny Depp thing, after my wife went and, I don't know what, masturbated to his interviews. So Ed Wood comes on. Thank you. Ed Wood comes on. And I don't even know what that means. And so Ed Wood is there, and I go, hey, look, it's Ed Wood. Well, she, goes to sleep. And so I watch it, which I thought was pretty good. It's a movie I never would have watched. And Sarah Jessica Parker played the first girlfriend. And then Patricia Arquette came in and played the second girlfriend. But I thought that the snaz had been that's fine. I mean, that's absolutely fine, I'm sure. I don't want to make fun of anyone, Christina, that's had plastic surgery. Because, as you know, I've had to have plastic surgery. I've had to have it. I've had this done. I've had that done. A lot of people sent me the same guys. I'm sure he's been played a million times. He's a cross between Howard and Weird Al Yankovic, this so-called Donald Trump New Hampshire backer. Have you seen this guy, Christina?
I don't think so. Let me see.
He equates, Steve, can you maybe zip it in a little bit? He equates voting for Donald Trump to, like, at the end of the night, there are a bunch of drunk girls at a bar, and you have to go home with one of them. And they had him on CNN. And who's on CNN? Which Cuomo? Is it Chris Cuomo?
Chris Cuomo.
Yeah.
And the guy's name is Ernie Bach Jr. or Bach.
Now, why do you think they would have this really odd-looking guy? He's not an activist, I don't think. And they kept him on for a long time. And this may be the weirdest interview. It was almost like CNN must have been out of interviews. It's a guy like we'd have on this show. In fact, we should try. And he's the goofiest looking bastard. And the still shots of him.
And he's a billionaire?
Yeah.
He's something or other. He's a big deal. It says billionaire supporter of Donald Trump's. Yeah, I'm with you, Christina. You see a weirdo that's a billionaire, you're going, what is that? You know the guy that owns Kinko's is a billionaire, and he's always been a strange guy. And I've known him for years and years, and he never had his picture taken because he had the kinky red hair, And he's like a wild man. And after he sold Kinko's or whatever, even after he sold it, he'd go in and do want them to he'd tell them how to work and stuff. And I think they called him and said, you don't own the company anymore. You can't go in there and tell anybody anything. Yeah, he's another one. He's another bill. He started with 2 used printers in a dorm room at University of California at Santa Barbara, making copies of people's papers. Why is this guy a billionaire? Car dealer? Long hair, goofy looking bastard. Can we hear him, please?
Yep.
Here we go.
You got to think of it like this. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and there's a few, girls at the bar. You have to go home with one of them. So you have to pick who you're with. And I think Mr. Trump is the best qualified.
Hold on a second, Ernie. Your analogy for what makes you the right guy when you get the bad call at 2 o'clock in the morning is what you need to do in the bar when you have women there and you have to decide which one. That's how your head works.
You're misunderstanding. I'm saying if you're single, you understand this. It's the end of the night. You want to go home with somebody. The bar is about to close. You have to pick somebody. You have to pick somebody. You have to stand behind somebody. And I think if you line up all the candidates with their positives and their negatives, I think Mr. Trump is the man.
So you're saying that he is the least worst decision that you could make if you were in the final moments of having to make one. That's what you're saying.
Well, I'm not saying that, but I want you to understand that I want people to understand that you have to pick somebody. You have to. Like a lot of people are saying, hey, I don't like anybody. I'm not voting. You can't do that. You have to vote. You have to pick somebody.
Right. Now, I don't know where they got the guy from. Do we know how he's a billionaire?
Yeah, he's a billionaire. He owns Botch Enterprises, which primarily...
What is it? Botch?
Botch or Bach? I don't know. It's B-O-C-H.
Bach or Botch, yeah, Bach, yeah.
But basically automobile dealerships in Norwood, Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
That's
much.
what the owner of the Saints is. He's a billionaire with, Mercedes and whatever else.
And he says he's a local celebrity in the greater Boston area who's known for his passion of music, makes television cameos, and his creative approach to advertising and selling cars.
Well, and he has the long hair, and he looks like Weird Al Yankovic.
On and
yeah, I know.
He's 57.
And so that's the guy. Yeah. Also, there is this huge thing for Chris Christie, Christina, where there's a Get a Mop fund in New Jersey. Did you know that? Where they're buying mops for people. I don't think he did anything. I just think he acted crazy the other night. So I like all that. It's nutty. The reason why I hate all of them is, like in Texas, the out of wedlock pregnancies or whatever is going up like 30% because they closed the Planned Parenthood and all. Those are all Democrats that are born. They're immediately on welfare. You know what I mean? It's like so stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. By the way, women, huge amounts of women are voting, are saying they're for Bernie Sanders, and then all these women feminist things are angry at women like you, Christina, because you are not backing up, women.
How is that?
Well, you're supposed to be for her. Well, no, you're supposed to be for her. You both have a vagina. There's no one with a vagina has ever been president.
That's a true feminist, then. I think a true feminist would be for whatever is best for the country. So I don't see why just voting for a woman because she has a vagina would make any sense to another smart female if you see flaws and holes in her campaign.
You're supposed to be for your kind.
Well, I think that you're supposed to be for all
the old white men stay together. All the old white men stick together.
Yeah, look how good that's been doing for us lately.
Most Hispanic people vote for Hispanic people. Black people will vote for, a black person, right?
Right, but none of that makes any sense. But none of that makes any sense. You should just be voting for the best man or woman for the job.
So that's it, huh? Bernie. That's it.
For me, it's Bernie,
He and Larry David are going to be on Saturday Night Live. It's over? They did it? Oh,
Monday.
Sorry.
No.
Oh, it happened already. How was it? I was watching Black Sails. How was it?
I was at a funeral all weekend, so I didn't see
You were at a funeral? Who died?
My boyfriend's grandmother. May she rest in peace.
Oh, did you know her? Did you know the lady?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I met her a couple of times. Yeah.
Right. Just a couple of times? Right.
Yeah.
Did you have to act like you were sad at the funeral?
No, I actually was sad. It's an emotional time. I wasn't distraught because she's not my grandmother and I wasn't horribly close to her, but I do love my boyfriend and he loved her, so I felt, terrible for the family. Of course.
So while he was crying, you were crying?
When people read kind words and stuff, I get that lump in my throat. I'm an emotional person. I've been on birth control for far too long. I'm all over the place.
I read the other day,
I am. It's like I can go at any minute.
I feel your pain. I read the other day that Nexium, as long as I've been taking it, is bad for you. It's the acid reflux thing. I hear it could do almost the same things it does to you women with that, whatever.
It makes you cry just uncontrollably.
Actress Heather Graham lends her voice to the animated adventures Norm of the North. You wonder what happens to these people. She used to be a big deal. She was, the roller skate girl and all that. And so here's the question they asked her. What do you enjoy most? This is an actress now. What do you enjoy most about voice acting? Well, you don't have to look good. You can just show up and look like a slob, and it's fun. I'm excited to show the movie to the kids in my life. I don't know if she has any children. Oh, what inspired your upcoming she's directing now. It's called Half Magic. Well, I went through a breakup, and I was lying in bed kind of depressed and decided to write a script and just laugh at all the stupid things that I've done in relationships. Not only me, but my friends as well. So I'm just writing this story to crack myself up. And now she's directing it. Okay? What are you doing when you're not working? Well, I sort of try to cook. I spend times with friends, and I sleep. I think sleeping is really good. I got to tell you, Steve, that pretty much ranks right up there with one of the worst athletic interviews I've ever in my life heard. I mean, it's really sad. And almost to the point of, it's a little bit, embarrassing a little bit. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? That's, what's funny is that I would think you'd have to kind of be a funny person before you wrote like a funny script. I don't know. Dear Jay, why do you hate Mario Batali? No, I don't hate him. I just think that show is kind of weird. Right?
I hate
him.
that.
I just think he's
horrible.
And then he rides a scooter around.
I'm not big on the slobs. Yeah, I'm not big on the slobs. I know he's a great cook, and he owns Italy, which is fantastic in New York, and I'm sure other places.
Got a few good restaurants here, yeah.
Yeah, and the crew is like, we've got to have the ethnic woman, then we have to have the cute blonde, and then they have the bald-headed guy on there. Cooking shows leave me a little bit, like
it's
Rachel.
More than just cooking.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It should just be cooking. They should just have a mirror up there, and they should just cook. Emerald, go bam. That's about it.
Emerald Lives was great, yeah.
Bam. Just go bam. Anybody calling us, Christina? Anyone to talk to us?
A whole lot.
Oh, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah,
all
let's
right.
start with
Well,
Josh.
I'm like a blind man in a forest reaching for solid wood. Who wants to speak to us at 94 Comedy Greats?
Josh in Texas.
Who is it?
Josh in Texas. We'll start
Josh in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Josh, it's Jay Thomas. Go ahead. Yes.
Hey, love your show. I was calling about...
Hey, wait a minute. They're releasing a picture of Peyton Manning with his testicles on top of a woman named Ann Notwright. He put his testicles on top of her head in 1996. Wow. Did you know this?
No, I did not. I would say
according to a deposition. I didn't know this either. Oh, this is all about... He'll have to retire now. He pulled down his trousers and put his testicles and backside on her face. Wow. Now, in a book, wait a minute. He wrote a book. Wait a minute. He said he was actually mooning another teammate at the time, and her head got in the way. Oh, wow.
Like you tripped and fell and your dick landed in somebody.
Yeah, it happened to land inside of somebody. That's right. Yeah, fell on top of her. Right. What can I do for you, Josh? You know what? The scandals are going to come out now. Oh, yeah, and this beer scandal. He may be an alcoholic the way he was talking. I'm going to be drinking a lot of beer. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead. What is it?
No, I was going to say about him plugging all the advertisements. I think he owns like 250 Papa John's.
No, but he wasn't doing that. He was doing, I'm going to drink a lot of beer. Budweiser's what he was doing.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm talking about when he was, hanging out with Papa John and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, he wants to get the money.
Is Papa John one of these guys that's really old but has had a lot of plastic surgery or something?
Peyton wasn't paid by Budweiser for the mention because he owns part of the distributor.
Oh. Stop it.
Wow.
It just didn't, it was stupid. It would be like right now, I would say to you, Josh, hey, man, I hope you're having some, J. Thomas jerky right now.
No,
by the way, J. Thomas jerky, it goes down as smooth as my dick. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you're the wrong person. Wait a minute. No, wait. J. Thomas jerky goes down like vagina.
So, idiot. The head of marketing communication.
Wait a minute. I'm going to make a soft jerky that tastes like pussy. That's my new plan. Write that down, Steve. Be a millionaire. Remind me.
A gazillionaire.
I'm going to be
You've
puss
got
jerky.
Two very large demographics there for that.
Vajirky. I'm going to make vajirky. Right. Go ahead, yes.
That's the money.
So the Anheuser-Busch head of marketing tweeted,
and by the way, as you all know, no matter which race the vagina is attached to, Vajerky's always pink. All right, go ahead, Christina. Just thought I'd throw that in there. That's an old joke. Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on there. There we go. The head of marketing communications for Anheuser-Busch tweeted last night, "Hi, Internet. For the record, Budweiser did not pay Peyton Manning to mention Budweiser tonight. We were surprised and delighted that he did."
Yeah, that was weird. So, Josh, did you bet the game or you just watched it?
Budweiser made $3.2 million after the name drop.
You mean people went... Wait a second. This drives me crazy. When Michael Jackson was broke, no one was buying his shit. He dies. And his whole family is richer than they've ever been now because he's dead. I'm sitting at home by myself. Why would I get up and go get a Budweiser just because he says it? It makes me not want to fucking drink it.
Well, that's how I feel about the car that Matthew McConaughey drives. I mean, why? That would never make me want to hop in there and take it for a spin. I could care less.
You know, I'm a little nervous today. My cat's listening to the show.
Shit.
A little nervous today. Josh, what did you call about?
Well, just saying about Peyton owning Papa John's, but also, if I have another minute, talking about not being smart and marrying young and stuff like that. That's why Derek Jeter is the smartest athlete of all time.
Have you ever seen the way he lives with the private chef, and he has the models at the table, and he's got these buddies, and he's got this gorgeous, apartment in New York, and then this fabulous thing in Florida. You're exactly correct. And he has snagged himself, I believe, and let's be honest. I'm sure they're the nicest people in the world. He is Derek Jeter. He was the captain of the Yankees. He has had an incredible life, and now he has snagged himself an incredible piece of ass.
Well, exactly. And
I'm sure she's nice. I'm sure she's a wonderful person. But every guy that sees him with her, am I wrong about that, Josh, that in their mind or maybe out loud to their friends or out of the side of their mouth like that? Isn't that the way men talk?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Now, I'm not saying it's correct. I'm saying it's bad. I want to say right now, I want to be put on record. Christina, put this on record. That is bad. It is bad. Bad.
It's on the record.
She's a meaningful person. All right. Thank you very much, Josh. Who else is waiting to talk? What a great group of people.
Let's go to Chris in Boston.
Wow. Okay. Yes, Chris, it's Jay Thomas. Go ahead.
How you doing, guy? I want to comment on Ernie Bach.
Yeah.
Now, through your time in Boston, you may remember his father was the first Toyota dealership in Massachusetts. He used to have the donkey come out of the trunk of the car.
You know, when I worked at KISS in Boston, but I didn't do any of those commercials.
The old father, he died and left it all to his kid, and all Ernie Bach wants to do is become an Eddie Vedder lookalike. So his band is called Ernie and the Automatics. He owns Norwood Airport, and he donates all his jets and all his hangings for all those billionaires who come to town.
Now, let me ask you a question. You know, if you're an idiot and your dad leaves you this big company, you could, lose all the money. So is he a good businessman, or is somebody running the company that's a good business person?
He was a business guy at first, clean cut, three-piece suit, and he bought Ferrari and Maserati right on Route 1, and he has every Subaru that comes into New England is his. His company is called Subaru of New England. So
he's a real car salesman at the end of the day.
But he wants to become a rock singer.
Right. Well, and then they have him on CNN like he's an expert. I mean, he seems so stupid. I mean, it's 2:00 in the morning, and that's why you picked Trump, because it's the last woman to be with. So usually those women are so drunk. I'm not interested in drunks. Sometimes they're sitting in their own puddle of pee. Many of them.
It's funny because Ernie Bach even he wrote a couple kids' books. So I don't know what he's got to do in the morning in a bar.
Who did we have on here? The woman with the short haircut that looks like a man, that's married to Christopher Guest. What's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She came on with the kids' book. This is years ago. I was first at Sirius.
Oh.
And I don't know what I said to her, but boy, she got very upset. And I just said, I know you have kids and everything else, but, it's like, why don't you write like a sex book or, because everybody thinks you're really sexy. Oh, man, forget it. It was terrible.
Are you sure that she just didn't think that you were implying that maybe she was, what's the word I'm looking for? When you have a penis and a vagina?
No, I don't. I didn't say anything about that. I said nothing about that.
Oh.
I just meant what,
well, I know that that's
if I
the
wrote
big
a children's book.
She probably...
If I wrote a children's book, okay, that would be the most insincere thing a person like me could possibly do. And I'd be doing it for one reason. Either I'd been caught doing something terrible, and it would be like community service, or, I figure let me change my, image or whatever the hell it is, and I'm going to write this children's book. But for me, I would rather, to hear funny stories about when she was making a fish called Wanda or whatever. Right? And I just
eats the yogurt. What happens there?
Yeah. All of that stuff. And her husband's not going to ever write a children's book. He does all those incredible, art films, Best in Show and all that stuff, So Waiting for Guffman, if you've never seen it, is hysterical, and that's her old man. So, all right, who's next, Christina? Who's next?
Let's go to Patrick in Florida.
Hello, Patrick. It's Jay Thomas.
Patrick.
Yes, go ahead.
We lost Jay.
Hey, I want to
lost me?
about that. Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Jay's not.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi.
Why did you say you lost Jay?
Hello?
Apparently she can't hear you, but I can hear you.
Oh.
I can hear both of you.
All right.
Okay, good. Well, that's all that counts. Go
What do you
ahead.
want to talk about, Patrick?
What are you doing? I'm running the show.
Oh,
I can hear. You can't hear. You're like an old ant.
There you
go. What did you do? Wiggle your little headset there a little bit?
I don't know
That's not what I was wiggling, all right?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Patrick. It's Jay Thomas. Yes, sir.
I was just going to say about the Peyton Manning and the Budweiser thing is that the NFL players aren't allowed to endorse alcoholic beverages, so it's kind of a possibility that maybe he was hinting that he's retiring by endorsing a specific alcoholic company.
A very good point, and he's not I think he's really good in the spots and everything else, but the way he did it twice, was super clumsy.
Yeah.
And it was almost like he didn't do it right the first time. He went back to pick it up, he screwed that up, and then he said Budweiser. So it was just really clumsy. So I thought he was getting paid by the mention, because the announcers kept looking at each other going, well, why does he keep saying that? So yeah, you're right. So that means he's retired. Definitely he's got to retire. I mean, for Christ's sakes, his neck is broken 3 times.
Yeah, and he said he has to have hip surgery replacement, so.
All of it. How about the brother up there in the stands? I think he's a great guy, Eli. They're from New Orleans. They're nice people, great family. He looked like he didn't want to be there. He's won 2 Super Bowls. It's almost like another football game. I gotta watch this,
It's like he was being replaced as the favorite son now that they both have 2 wins.
Well, yes. Well, of course. And then, as time goes on, they'll do those really competitive one-on-one basketball games at each other's mansions. That's what that's it for them. And the big tall brother who broke his neck in college, I don't know if you know this or not, Cooper. Cooper broke his neck, but he was a wide receiver, about kind of like a Chris Collingsworth type of guy, like 6'5" and thin. He is the financial advisor for his brothers, I know for sure. So he looked happy as could be. He looked really tall and really happy. So, thank you very much. The new KFC Colonel, I guess you all know this already. Is it Jim Gaffigan? Is he the new KFC?
Yeah, that's what I read.
Yeah, he's going to be the new thing. And is it that they don't like these other people, or they're doing this on purpose? That's
No, I think they're doing it on
it's on purpose now.
Yeah. And Jim Gaffigan's TV show is about him living, and he's like a practicing Catholic, and living in New York with 5
roughly
kids.
based on his life. Yeah, that's what he.
Yeah, but he's a big Catholic.
Yeah, that's why he has so many kids.
That's so weird in the 21st century.
I mean, my God, he doesn't stop eating. It's so fun to watch.
Is the show good?
Yeah, I like it.
Bad, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It may be the best show on TV land because normally those shows are not very good.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really good.
I like that one. I like the show after it, too. Was it Pastor with Michael Rosenbaum?
Pastor?
Yeah, that's the one.
My buddy David Rashi, who was here with me all weekend, is just leaving to go do it. He plays the evil president of the church.
No shit. Yeah, I like that guy. Yeah.
You know what's funny? He's a real actor, and he's depressed all the time, and he works all the time. He does Broadway, he does movies, he does everything, and he's depressed all the time about the parts, and he goes, no one even mentions that I'm on that show. And then he says, 2 people. I go, you have any idea? That's a lot of people that mention you with 800 shows out there. So you do like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Impact.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
I'm going to tell him immediately. In fact,
and I like him on it too, yeah.
Let's book him. Let's book him on the show. David Rashi. Been around he was Sledgehammer 1,000,000 years ago, which just started in Europe like last Tuesday. So people send him notes and stuff that they just started, looking at him. By the way, DraftKings is going to be considered legal in California. So it's illegal in Texas, but it's legal in California. And people were surprised by that. So they're saying, I guess, it is a game of skill rather than a game of chance or whatever. I thought that you'd think California, of all the states, would have, I guess, ruled against it or whatever. I tried to do the fantasy football. I did it for ESPN. I did it for us and everything else. I forget to change all the players, and there's a lot of work involved, so maybe that's why it's not gambling. There's a lot of work involved. Somebody gets hurt, or you trade people, or whatever, and then all of the, talking to people online about the stats, and I'd like to just pick, 11 guys out of a hat, a couple of defenses and a kicker, and, see what happens. It's like buying a lottery ticket, to me. Who else is waiting to talk to us, Christina?
Let's go to Roger in North Carolina.
Roger in North Carolina. Oh, my God, Roger. Let me just say, oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Hello, Jay. How are you?
Oh, my... No, I haven't even done it enough yet. Oh, my God, Roger.
Do it in your mom's voice, too.
Oh, my God, Roger. Oh, God, it must be horrible.
That feels more heartfelt.
Oh, my God, Roger. How do you feel today, Roger?
I'm feeling great.
Not a football fan? Not a big football fan.
Sounds like Roger's having a pretty good day.
Yeah, you're having a good day, Roger. What can we do for you?
I was just calling you talking about Rubio a while ago.
Yeah.
Did you know he's got a real hot-looking wife?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely he has a hot-looking wife. Well, is she Hispanic by any chance, Steve? His wife? Do we know?
Not that I know of, so I'm looking. So give me a second.
Because Roger, this. You don't see a lot of people in North Carolina, but Latino women are just spectacular.
She's Colombian.
Oh. Hey, your 8-ball or mine, Roger? That's how they met.
That would be even better.
You know what's funny? I would be more willing. I mean, Bill Clinton certainly did all of that shit. All of it. George W. Bush did all of it. George Bush did blow at Camp David while his dad was meeting with, the Russians or some shit, or the world was about to blow up, or World War III, or whatever it was. Yeah, on some level, I respect those guys more. What I hate is that they have to say they didn't do it and they had to become Christian or get their act together or some bullshit. You do it and then you get older and you don't do it anymore. That's all there is to it. Oh, yeah. And good and well, they're Catholic, so he's... Now, wait a minute. Rubio was raised Catholic, became a Mormon, then he was something else, and now they're a member of this one of those big mega Baptist churches where there's 5,000 people in the auditorium.
Right.
I write that off immediately. I write that bullshit off immediately. I don't want to have Catholics are bad enough with the gold bars and all that. But those guys in those giant auditoriums and all, that's not me. That's not me at all. Because I could have done that. If I wanted to just absolutely lie all the time, or I would have made up the Church of Sensible Christianity, where I would give you a break. Like, Roger, what would be a big sin in your life? And I would be your minister. What sin would you have done, perhaps? A bad one?
Maybe getting caught having sex with another woman other than your wife.
You were caught?
Oh, no, I had been caught.
You have been caught. You know what I would do? I'd give you a pass. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that would be nice.
Now, during the event, did the woman, when she was coming, yell, "Oh, God"?
Yeah, I believe she did.
Well, guess what? You were there, man. You were with him. You stumbled, but you kept the Lord with you. And so I absolve you of that sin. I can't help you with the wife. Did she leave you, or did she stick around with you?
No, she stayed around.
Wow. What's it like when you have sex? How long does it take to have sex after you've been caught with another woman? A year?
Probably take at least a month.
A month? Christina.
Yeah.
Hold it. Christina. 4 weeks later, she screwed him. No? No.
No.
They never let you forget it, though, Jay.
What's that?
They never let you forget it.
Like has she ever brought it up like you're sitting around and she just throws it out there just like it's like a bad memory and she throws it at you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty often she'll say, well, maybe you should go back to that old whore you were seeing.
I had this really rough girlfriend from Queens, and she dated this really handsome photographer guy, and I was jealous. This was before me. And we met him one time, and he was handsome as shit. And I was so insecure. And we were at we went up in the country, and I had the fire going, and I'm setting the kitchen up and doing all kind of stuff and getting ready. And I don't know why I did it, but she was saying something to me, and I said, you know what? Why don't you go back and fuck that photographer guy? So she came around the corner with a knife, with a steak knife, and chased me, and she wanted to kill me. I had to go outside and hide in the woods, and I never said another word to her about it. So I don't want you to pick up a knife or something, but you're going to have to do something. You've got to stop this. You've got to stop it. Okay?
Yeah.
You got to turn to her and go, okay, look. You got to stop. Can you threaten her and say, look, if you bring it up again, every time you bring it up, I'm leaving. I'm going to go somewhere else. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, I might could try that.
You do. You don't sound like the strongest individual. Can I be honest with you? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You seem like a very nice person, but and what was the woman attracted to you? What did she like about you? You were this married man.
Probably that I was working, and we've probably been a good provider.
She liked you because you were a good provider, the woman that screwed you that wasn't your wife?
Right.
Really? Did you hear that, Christina? Women will fuck guys because they seem like a good provider.
Yeah.
Wow. But it's on the side. You know what I'm saying? It's on the side. It's not the one that they're going to end up with.
They can take you and they can change you.
Wow. All right.
It's the challenge.
Well, Roger, when's the last time you saw that woman?
I hadn't saw her in several years now.
Okay. You think about her?
Yeah, pretty often.
I bet you do. That's fine. That's all you need. All we need is our little masturbatory flip cards. That's all we need. I go all the way back to junior high school. Oh, yeah, all the way back. But, of course, I'm not this age. I go all the way back to the normal age, Steve, so it's not pedophilia. Okay? All right, thank you very much, Roger. Hope we helped you. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Jay.
All right, thank you. I have no idea what the poor bastard wanted. Yes, what else, Christina? Who else?
Let's go to Midge in Alabama.
Not her name can't be Midge.
Why not? She lives in Alabama. She totally can.
Midge. Now, wait a minute. Wasn't it that woman that you put your hands in the dishwashing liquid? And all? Oh, it's Madge.
No, that was Madge.
You're Midge. Hello, Midge.
Is Midge short for something?
Midge. Midget. Midge is short. Midge is short for midget. Is your name Midget?
I was called Midget, but no, my real name is Madeline, but I've been called Midge all my life.
Well, wonderful. And what are you, like 4'10", 4'11"?
Pretty close, 5'4".
Oh, 5'4". Wow, you tower over me. Yes, Midge, go ahead.
Okay. I was the female who slept around on her husband.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy, that's a tough one. Men seem to get kind of forgiven. A woman, of course, has to take a lot more physical and I would say emotional beatings over that infidelity.
Well, I didn't tell him. He didn't know anything until I came up and had a baby.
Oh, shit. By the other fucking guy?
But, yeah.
Now, here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
What does the husband look like? What's he, light-skinned, dark hair? What's he got? What's he look like?
He was light-skinned. The husband was, I thought he was one thing, and then after we got married, he reverted. So
what? He became an Asian? He started as a Caucasian and became an Asian? I don't know what you're talking about. You mean he was mean to you, or he physically changed in some way?
He was physically, he was abusive and everything. It was like...
Well, you had to fuck around. We forgive you for that. You had to do it. You had to do it. Are you kidding? Guy hits you and everything else? No, you had to fuck around. Hold it a second. Yeah, namari padre, aspiritante, oremus, filia sancti, et cum spiritutu. Oh, who's that pretty girl coming down the aisle? You are absolved. All right. So, now, did you marry the guy you had the kid with?
Yeah.
Now, how many other guys are you fucking beside him?
None.
Wow.
I'm not,
I want you to just give me her voice, send it to me on my phone later, Christina, and I'm going to just listen to this back and take care of myself. Midge's voice.
Midge, you're a lucky gal.
Yeah. I'm over Christina. I'm completely over her.
Well, I should hope so. It would be weird at this point.
Well, in the beginning, it was fun. You were my little fantasy in the beginning.
You're so
You were naughty. The bad thing was is that sometimes when I'd be jerking off, Garrett's face would come in, and I'd go, "Oh no!" Yeah, like his face would come in by accident.
And then you were suddenly drenched by saliva, and you're like,
"No, I had to stop immediately." It's another person, another man came in. Well, did you? So he did you have children with the first husband?
We had a daughter, and that was like to tell you a little bit about him. He also changed. Like he didn't want sex. Do you know a man who didn't want sex?
Never heard of that. Well, unless the wife gets really like ugly and you know what? I was in the airport today, and there was a guy there, and the wife was in a wheelchair, but I couldn't tell if she was crippled. She wasn't overweight or anything. And I'm looking at him, and he kind of was embarrassed, and he was a big guy. It was weird, and I was thinking, if my wife was in a wheelchair, I would be over there like petting her and at least showing people, whether I meant it or not, I would be acting like I really was crazy about her. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I don't think that would be so bad. But see, I did gain weight. I did get, You got
ugly and you gained weight. Well, good.
Well.
Hell yeah. And you know what? If it was 2 o'clock in the morning, I would fuck you instead of Donald Trump. I can guarantee you that if I was in a bar. All right. Wow, I'm exhausted. Oh, we have another hour? Oh, okay.
Sirius XM Comedy Greats. Channel 94, and on the SiriusXM app.
New Orleans, the birthplace of jazz. And as the world gathers to celebrate Mardi Gras, SiriusXM takes you to the party with Mardi Gras Radio, a limited engagement channel. The sound of New Orleans, with a special tribute to the Crescent City's own Alan Toussaint. Mardi Gras Radio takes over real jazz, on now through Ash Wednesday morning. Exclusively on Channel 67 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Today, how to incorporate your business in just 10 minutes so you won't lose everything if you get sued. Step 1, stop putting it off. If you're not incorporated and someone sues your business tomorrow, it's not just your business at risk. Everything. Your home, your car, even your life savings. Step 2, call the following number for a free 10-minute incorporation guide from Incorporate.com. 1-800-961-9768. They don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating quick and easy. So you can incorporate or form an LLC in just 10 minutes. That number again is 1-800-961-9768. Step 3, congratulate yourself. By taking just 10 minutes to incorporate your business or form an LLC, you protected your home, your car, and your life savings. And that is how you incorporate your business in just 10 minutes. But hurry while they're still giving away these 10-minute incorporation guides for free. Call 1-800-961-9768. That's 1-800-961-9768.
I started drinking when I was 13, and alcohol eventually led to cocaine, ecstasy, and meth. The result was multiple brushes with the law, a fed-up family, and bleeding ulcers so bad that I couldn't eat or sleep. I was a bright kid with a lot of potential, but drug addiction had taken away everything that I valued. Finally, my loving grandmother had enough and gave me an ultimatum. Go to rehab or get out. And thank God she did. My life is so much better now. I'm a recovery advocate for the I Recover helpline, and I get to help people who are sick like I was. Alcohol and drug abuse destroys families, but there is a solution. I've seen firsthand how well I Recover works, and if you call now, we will pay for your flight to the newest I Recover treatment center in Palm Springs, California. My name is Thomas, and you can speak with me at 877-415-6764. That's 877-415-6764. Call 877-415-6764 or visit irecoverhelpline.com. That's irecoverhelpline.com.
Listening to Howard? Take it down a notch to 99. Discover up-and-coming comedians like Ron Funches on Raw Dog Comedy.
I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Oh, thank you. I built it myself. Well, I'm glad I got to live in Oregon because I've got to kind of try some new things that I now love and enjoy, like iced coffees. Or white women, those are both great things. I'm just joking. Coffee's gross.
Raw Dog Comedy, SiriusXM 99. You're listening to Comedy Greats on SiriusXM.
Joining me now is actor and comedian Jay Thomas, who's been a regular guest on Letterman through the years with his annual quarterback challenge. Thank you so much for being here.
Uh-oh. Looks like Jay is interviewing himself as Al Sharpton again. Shut up. Let's just see where this goes, shall we?
I wanna rock!
3476 Sirius is the voice box, which is 24 hours a day, and if we have time, we'll do it today. Certainly we'll do it in a couple of days this week. I'm coming to you from New Orleans. You know, Mike Church has got his own show. He's podcast and all that stuff, and so if you want to look for him, he's still out there in the ether. Whatever it is, I don't know. He's always showing me his app and all that shit. So, it's been a very odd season, you know, politically, and I'm always looking for people, as you know, who take things in another direction, right? And I was very happy to read about Janet Stevens. Janet, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show. Thanks for coming on today. Thank you. Hello?
Hello, yes?
Yes, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
I'm Jay Thomas, and you're Janet Stevens?
I am indeed.
Are you the hairdresser and the amateur forensic hair archaeologist?
Yes, I am, for my sins.
I am so excited to have you on because I love people that pick what sounds like the dumbest friggin' thing you can pick. And because you became an expert, and Christina can back me up on this, I go nuts when I meet someone who does something. You saw what? I know you're a hairdresser,
yes,
but you saw a statue or something. Tell people, and then we're going to talk about the presidential hairdos. Tell people what moved you, what would guide someone to want to become archaeologically interested in hair, as I would say to Steve, no tome me pelo, into hair.
Okay, well, what happened was I was just waiting for my kid to get out of a music lesson in a nearby music school, and I had about an hour to kill, and it was raining, and so I took shelter at the Walters Art Museum, and they had just redone their ancient art collection, and they'd redisplayed all of their ancient portrait busts. Well, you know, I stand behind people's heads all day, and I stare at their hair. So for the first time, I got behind a really intriguing statue of Empress Julia Domna, and I noticed this amazing spiral braided bun that I'd never seen anything like that before. So I went home and tried it out, thinking it would be a great bridal style and I could make some money with it. And I got completely stumped by it. So I started looking things up in my fashion reference books and getting led down rat holes that led nowhere. And
Well, what is the name of the bun? What is it called?
Oh, well, I call it the serpentine bun. It looks like two snakes spiraled around one another.
Now, wait a minute.
Almost like a rag rug.
Have you seen the woman that's the former president of the Ukraine? She's either in the United States now or doing something with the EU. Have you seen? She has the kind of what do you call them? It almost looks like a twisted. It's like a halo around her head.
Oh yeah.
Is it like that? She's attractive, very attractive blonde woman who was the president of the Ukraine before the Russians came in there.
Yeah, her hairstyle, if it shows over the top of her head, it isn't like Julia Domna's. If you looked at Julia Domna's hairstyle, all you would see were these really deep waves cascading down almost to her shoulders, and you wouldn't see the bun at all. So because the way most museums display their statuary doesn't allow you to get around the back. I mean, they'll arrest you if you climb behind the statues. So this particular statue they had set out in the middle of the room so I could look at it from all angles. But it actually looks a lot more like, I would say, a braided rug. You know, those things that Grandma used to make.
That's what the woman's hairdo from Ukraine looks like.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what. And so you looked at that and you couldn't recreate it.
No, not at all. Not certainly with modern tools.
What do you mean? We have everything available to us. You're telling us that somebody from 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, they were better at it than we are?
Yeah,
it's impossible.
They were, in fact, but, you know, also remember, if you have a servant to do your hair and take it down for you, everything's easy, right? So many of these women in antiquity, their statuary is an indication that they were very well off financially. So either royal personages or extremely wealthy anonymous people. And part of how they showed their wealth was through elaborate hairstyling, and they had personal slaves to do that. So how they constructed them was through sewing with needle and thread, dull needles, obviously, so that they wouldn't, scratch the scalp or make them bleed or stab them in the head. But it's amazing what you can do with needle and thread to create these almost gravity-defying hairstyles.
Now, you are still a hairdresser at Baltimore Studio 921 Salon and Day Spa. Christina, when you were getting married, did you have your hair done by a special person and makeup and all that for your wedding?
Yes, I did. I went through all the trials first. I
Really?
built a relationship with this woman, and then I divorced my husband 2.5 years later.
But did you
That's
keep
right.
the hairstyle?
Yes.
Okay, good.
What was it called, Christina? Your marriage hairstyle?
Oh, I don't know the name of what it was called. I don't think that the person that was doing my hair was even as close to a professional as Miss Janet Stevens. I don't think there was a name for it.
I mean, there's actually you've published ancient Roman hairdressing, And I mean, the Journal of Roman Archaeology. It's really wild because you in the article that I read about you, I am half Sicilian guy, and I've got the hair. I still have hair, but it's acting weird, and I do push it down in that kind of Julius Caesar Roman Senate kind of hairdo. But I'm too frightened to leave it like that all the time, you know. So I put some top kit in there, you know, the kind of the spray stuff and all that.
Sure.
But what do you call that? It's older guys do it, and their hair will be graying, and you kind of put, like Richard Dreyfuss when he's not playing Bernie Madoff, his hair is pushed forward. Like, what is that called? The Roman Senate hairdo?
We could call that an ancient comb over, possibly.
Ancient comb over.
Yeah. Because in antiquity, men did not part their hair on the side as we do today. You know how the guy with the comb over today, he parts it way down over one ear and grows it out real long and combs it off to the other side. And every time the wind blows, it looks like this pot lid is lifting up off the top of his head. Okay, and it's sort of like.
Well, did they? You know, I had a general manager like that years ago, and we'd play golf, and it would do that. What's really weird about it is everybody makes fun of that, and yet lots of people still do it.
It's bless their hearts, right? We all have a sense of self that we want to maintain, and we often will get into denial over time over the changes that are happening to our hair. And, you know, in men, you don't have any control, really, over how your body changes, especially in terms of your hair. And, you know, at least with men, it's something that it's kind of normal. You know, you expect to see bald men. But, you know, for women, it's far more traumatic because that's not a culturally acceptable thing to have happen. But, yes, the comb-over is very ancient, but back in the day in Rome, they would grow the hair long from the back of the head and then comb it forward to create that kind of uninterrupted, kind of straight down toward the eyebrows thing.
Remember the really funny play and movie, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum?
Oh, gosh, yes, Zero Mostel.
And Zero Mostel, he would do that, you know, in real life. But that was a quintessential Roman thing. But now the reason why you're here is to talk. You actually do look at the hairdos of the folks that are running for president and all sorts of folks. And so everyone talked about Donald Trump's hair. I imagine that if he came into you to see you, you would say, we got to change this.
Well, I don't know if I would, because I think that Donald has such a strong sense of self that nobody's going to tell him how to wear his hair. I think he thrives on opposition, frankly.
What is it? Is it a comb-over?
It's a double comb-over. Good
It
Lord,
is a fluffy comb-over, isn't it? A big fluffy comb-over.
Well, actually, I've seen, you can look up diagrams of it. People have taken the time to make diagrams of this thing.
Steve, look up a diagram of his, I want to hear it.
Oh, it's hilarious. Well, he seems to be growing it very long from one side, then pulling it diagonally toward the opposite side, then slinging it back again. That hair on top of his head's probably 12 inches long, if it's an inch.
And you think he's bald under all that?
Oh, he's probably pretty close. I mean, he must have stock in some really high-hold hairspray and like hurricane force.
Well, you know what helps, though? You see, I'm short, he's tall, and so you can't really see his hair. With me, you know, most people are looking down on me. So they can see, you know, whatever the hell I've been doing. They can absolutely see. Now, what about Hillary? As a young woman, and she was going to, you know, lesbian U there, Wesleyan, and all of that, and they said she was kind of, you know, free love and kind of hot and all that. I mean, if she was screwing Bill was a big screwer, and they were, and so then, you know, she's become matronly. You know what I mean? It's like, and when you see her younger person hairdo, you know, not that she can still do that, but is that because she's just become serious and doesn't give a shit about her hair anymore?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but I'd say that, you know, our hair really is the outward presentation of what we feel like we are on the inside when it's done well. Okay, so if she wants to be seen as someone who is serious, someone who is worthy of a presidency, she cannot look it looked like she's stopped in time. Okay, she was beautiful in her youth, I think, and she wore her hair in an appropriate way for that time and space. But
she had daddy issues, which makes her very good in bed.
Oh, who doesn't? Come now.
There you go.
That being said, of course, what can I say? I mean, the internet is the greatest thing that's ever happened and the worst thing that's ever happened. We don't hide our hair mistakes in an album that's only discovered when the kids, drag it out of the back of the closet on Halloween, I'm
trying to think of a candidate beside Donald Trump that has weird hair. Christina or Steve? Rubio looks boyish. He's a boyish-looking 44, and he's just looks like kind of a kid. Is Cruz's hair short? It's kind of short. It's a little Roman comb.
Yeah, well, the cool or the weird thing about modern hairstyles right now is just how little they've changed from antiquity. It's almost as if we've come full circle. We might part them on the side a little bit more, but anybody among the Republican candidacy could just pretty much drop down into ancient Rome and comb their hair a little differently, and they'd fit right in.
Bernie Sanders is much more of a crazy Roman-haired.
Oh yeah, God, I love the man. He's amazing.
Do they do anything with his hair, you think? Do they fool with it at all?
It's naturally white. That kind of.
No, it's all over the place. It's an Einstein kind of a.
Oh sure, but that's what he's like. I mean, he used to actually be my congressman when I lived in Vermont many years ago, and he's really a great guy. But he does not take the time to worry about how he looks. He worries about what wants to do for his constituents. I'm always a little bit suspicious of people who care too much about their hair, frankly.
Well, if you are a historian about hair, Ovid, of course, was a Roman poet. So.
Yes.
And you mentioned it too, but he also didn't he beat the crap out of his lover and then say something about her hair at the same time?
Yes, he did.
He beat the shit out of her. Her hair was messed up, and then what was the poem about?
Well, he felt really bad afterwards. These are actually quite harrowing poems. One in the Amores and one's in the Art of Love. He mentions having beaten his girlfriend and disarranged her hairstyle, and for how many days she refused to see him afterwards. But if you have your hairstyle sewn together and you have very long natural hair as a woman, that hairstyle is practically indestructible. It takes a lot of work to get it down, and it would take a lot of pulling and abuse to disarrange it from its sewn state. So I think that he probably scared himself very deeply, as well as his lover, with
by beating her up so that her hair came down.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever been beaten or hung or something because they either had the same hairdo as the queen or the king or something and they weren't supposed to?
Well, we don't know about that. Depending on the period, there were definitely sumptuary laws in the sense that it was illegal for you, if you were a commoner, say, during the medieval period, to wear certain colors, to wear certain fabrics. But so far as someone being punished for copying a royal hairstyle, there isn't any evidence to that fact. And instead, it's believed by many archaeologists that people purposely copied the imperial styles to be seen as being on board with their policies.
Can you read anything in a person's hairstyle of any of the people that are running? Is there a hairstyle of anything that tells you something about a personality that we wouldn't see, but like you said, Donald Trump is a man who has a double comb over, but most guys with comb overs are kind of insecure, or they can be oddball kind of, and it shows insecurity, right? But anything that you're seeing in any of the candidates?
Well, I'm always curious to see, I can't remember exactly who specifically has their hair dyed, but, there's, everyone is frail, everyone has self-esteem issues, and, what we do with our hair is trying to present our best self. So I don't blame anybody if they're prematurely gray for wanting to dye their hair, and I don't blame anybody if they want to wear their hair gray if it gives them more authority.
But who has a bad dye job? Because now I'm thinking the only gray-haired guy is Bernie Sanders. Right.
Well, I've got...
I don't know. And then Carson is older. I don't know if he's gray. I think Barack Obama looks bad with gray hair. He ought to dye his hair a little bit.
Right.
I think it makes him look tired.
Right. Yeah. Well, but the thing is it's upkeep. It's like somebody who has, if your hair is thinning, do you have the self-discipline and the desire to use Rogaine every day, twice a day?
With touch of gray, it keeps me who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think, for instance, Carly Fiorina obviously, dyes her hair red. And red is a color for somebody who does not mind being looked at. There's this, the old saying that blondes get noticed, but redheads get remembered.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's part
She's remembered all right for that mush face. Poor darling. I think Trump said something to her face about her face, which was probably the most, gut-wrenching moment I've ever heard in a political arena. He said her face was pruny or...
I think that was definitely out of line, but again...
Yes, horrible.
With Donald, he lives for provocation. No one has discussed much about his Mussolini chin. If you compare...
Well, you're not an expert on chins. You're here for hair. Janet Stevens, thank you. And people in Baltimore, it's the 921 Salon. Is that it?
Come on down.
All right.
Cut.
And you are a archaeologist. Now, I want to say one thing. You're an intelligent woman. You're really into the archaeological aspects of hair and history and everything else. I don't really hear thought-provoking conversations in the beauty salon. Does it bore you, some of the yapping, some of the senseless yapping you have to hear? What happened to her? She was just going to tell us about the senseless yapping.
I think that's what...
Sorry, the cord fell out of my phone.
Oh, that's fine. The senseless yapping,
I would say it depends on the salon you're in. I would say I don't hear quite so much senseless yapping in the salon where I work, which is a more upscale environment.
You have a smarty pants pants salon?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
They're all rarefied. Some people can't stand me, but I've got my following. But no, I'd say that there are occasionally inappropriate conversations. Things that might draw the notice.
You got to hear about the kids. Before men were cutting, hair normally when everybody started going, to women hair because they were doing it better than guys in a barbershop. I would sit there and go, Jesus, how do you listen to all this shit about their kids and their mother and their problems? And maybe you have to like all that shit. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it at all.
Well, yeah, I love meeting people and hearing about their lives. I really do. And it's, the beauty profession is one place where people come in not feeling great about themselves, and you usually leave feeling great. And, I really appreciate the power that we have over people's self-esteem.
And shampooing is so sensuous.
Absolutely.
It's sensuous.
Our shampoo techs are amazing. I've given up the field. I won't even, if one of them is available, I say, go to her. She's way better than I am.
You want to hear something? The Guatemalans are the best.
Oh, really? We have a lovely Nepali lady who is, I'm sure could give them a run for their money.
Woman that does my hair, Chica.
Okay.
Well, listen, Janet Stevens, thank you, and a historian for hair. Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much. By the way, you ever look down below in the pube area? You ever take
I am not an esthetician.
There's a lot of people that have hearts and they shave it a lot, and they say men do that because they want to be with little girls and all that, because that's a weird hair
I
thing.
do not deal with the psychology of what do they call it?
There's a lot of psychology down there. There's a whole lot of psychology down there. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Well, you have a great day.
Bye-bye. She's a historian for hair. Okay? Historian for hair. Donald Trump has a double comb-over. A double fluff comb-over. Valentine's Day is this Sunday. Yikes. Oh, that's right. There's only one sure way to win the Valentine's Day of the year, and that's to win her heart all over again. And you have to show some heart to win. And now Sherry's Berries knows exactly how to make sure to get this year right with romantic, fresh, juicy berries. From Sherry's Berries, they're gigantic, they're freshly dipped strawberries, and they start at $19.99, over a 40% savings. And just for you, you can double these berries for just $10. So you go to berries.com, you click on the microphone, and in the corner that says J. Thomas, you have to type in J. Thomas, actually, okay? It'll dip them in white milk and dark chocolatey goodness, okay? Topped with chocolate chips, decorative swizzles, and delivery's always guaranteed. No gift wrapping needed because they arrive perfectly packaged in a gift box. Here's the only way you can get this amazing Valentine's Day deal. They're giant, they're juicy, they're freshly dipped strawberries. $19.99. It's berries. And you can actually double the berries for $10 more. It's berries.com, berries.com. Click on the microphone, top right-hand corner. You type in J. Thomas, or go to berries.com, click on the microphone, top right-hand corner, and type in J. Thomas. Don't wait. You'll have to order right away to get them for Sunday.
The J. Thomas Show.
Even when he's facing financial ruin, the man is still able, just like me, right, Ira? Put on a happy face and do a good show.
Come on, put on a happy face.
Yeah.
Sirius XM Comedy Greats.
SiriusXM presents a special New Hampshire primary political event. The Red Arrow Diner, the iconic landmark for the primary, becomes the SiriusXM Red Arrow Diner.
One pork barrel coming up.
With live shows inside from all sides. From SiriusXM's POTUS, Patriot, and Progress. Politics from the New Hampshire primary. Served up hot and fresh.
And would you like beans or toast?
Live from the SiriusXM Red Arrow Diner. Tomorrow on SiriusXM Politics, 124 to 127.
If you're thinking about a memory foam or dial-up your number bed, don't buy one just yet. Not until you experience the customizable bed everyone is talking about, the Reverie Dream Sleep System. Reverie uses patented Dream Cell mattress technology with over 200 adjustment points for the most comfortable sleep of your life. Call 877-845-7400 to learn why Hollywood A-listers, athletes, trainers, and doctors are raving about their Reverie beds. It might be Reverie's zero-gravity setting that relieves pressure on your back, or the anti-snore function, or Reverie's 101-night guarantee. If you haven't had the most amazing sleep of your life, return it for a full refund. Want to know why celebrities, athletes, and doctors are switching to Reverie Dream Sleep Systems? Call now to find out. 877-845-7400 or visit Reverie.com. That's 877-845-7400 or REVERIE.com.
I started drinking when I was 13, and alcohol eventually led to cocaine, ecstasy, and meth. The result was multiple brushes with the law, a fed-up family, and bleeding ulcers so bad that I couldn't eat or sleep. I was a bright kid with a lot of potential, but drug addiction had taken away everything that I valued. Finally, my loving grandmother had enough and gave me an ultimatum. Go to rehab or get out. And thank God she did. My life is so much better now. I'm a recovery advocate for the I Recover helpline, and I get to help people who are sick like I was. Alcohol and drug abuse destroys families, but there is a solution. I've seen firsthand how well I Recover works, and if you call now, we will pay for your flight to the newest I Recover treatment center in Palm Springs, California. My name is Thomas, and you can speak with me at 877-415-6764. That's 877-415-6764. Call 877-415-6764 or visit iRecoverHelpline.com. That's iRecoverHelpline.com.
Jeff Foxworthy.
You might be a redneck.
Larry the Cable Guy.
That's right.
Are coming to your town. RFG TV presents the We've Been Thinking Tour.
And I know the day's coming when my kids are going to be on the phone with each other going, it's your turn to take Daddy for a while.
Jeff and Larry, live.
I said to my butcher, I said, why'd they call rump roast? He said, nobody'd eat it if they named it cow ass.
For tickets and tour info, go to JeffFoxworthy.com and LarryTheCableGuy.com.
Comedy Greats on SiriusXM.
J.
Jay Thomas is taking your calls at 844-5-GREAT.
Before you call here, ask a friend, have I ever said anything interesting or funny? Just ask one of them before you actually pick up the phone.
Right here on Sirius XM Comedy Greats.
Please hang up and try again.
I love this. Oh, yeah. This is a blend your bitch song, Christina. Denzel said that in Mo Money, one of them. It's up there, blending my bitch. Song? Yeah, blending my bitch, yeah. You don't want to fuck real fast to this one, Steve. Yeah. Hey, Midge. What, are you embarrassed? Hey, Midge, it's Jay Thomas. How are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
We were talking to you earlier, and you were so confessional and so wonderful. And I said to Christina, make sure that we give this woman, some pro flowers. How about that?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, absolutely, because, Valentine's Day is coming, and we've been doing all this stuff, and so the folks at Pro Flowers, and Sherry's Berries, too, have allowed us to give people stuff, and so, now, is it a big deal, this thing? Because you get 24 assorted roses, plus a free glass vase, and chocolates for just $29.99. I don't think I'm sending you all that.
Working diligently to bring you the program scheduled for this channel at this time. We expect to restore the show shortly. Please stand by. Or please use what we expect to be a brief outage to explore some of the other great shows on Sirius XM. Check back in a minute. We expect to bring you the show regularly scheduled for this time. Scheduled to air at this time is temporarily unavailable.
Weekend?
Yeah.
When they threw the Doritos bag and a kid came flying. Oh, man. Wow. And your youngest is a wonderful child. Was he a drug addict or something, and now he's cleaned up his act? Something like that?
Well, he smoked pot. I can't really say he was heavy drug, but he gives me a
Christina's
run for my
dad
money.
Is calling Dr. Laura right now, talking about her drug use. I can see it on the phone right now. Mm-hmm.
Well, my son just graduated from boot camp with the Air Force.
Wow.
We went out to Texas and everything, so I'm really proud of him.
Tell him to be a drone pilot. Tell him to be a drone pilot. Kill him so he doesn't know who he's killing. Yeah, drone pilot.
Right. He wants to be HVAC, of all things.
You mean heating and air conditioning?
Yes. I know.
Hold on. That is the great... Now, when I say thanks for your service, do I mean Freon? Is that what I'm saying to him? Like, hey, thanks for coming in and servicing my air conditioner. So he's in the Air Force, and he's going to learn how to do heating and air conditioning. Well, that's great. That's wonderful. Right.
I think it is, too. I mean, anything...
He can throw like 5 BTUs at the enemy if he gets in real trouble.
Right, there you go.
Well, listen, enjoy your Pro Flowers, and I'm glad your kids are doing well. Even the one you had with the other kid, is everybody okay with all of that nonsense?
I went
The
to
other person?
done with now. I don't even have to talk to her father anymore. So
Good. Is he dead?
no, but she's
Right.
25 now, so I don't have to talk with him.
Good.
I mean,
well, enjoy your ProFlowers. Go to proflowers.com, click on the microphone, and you type in the code J Thomas if you want to find out what Midge just got. Thank you, Midge, very much. Thank you. Enjoy them.
Thank you.
Christina will tell you how to get them. Who else is waiting to talk to us? Who else is waiting to talk to us? Who else?
You've got Joe in New Hampshire on the line.
Joe, you're in New Hampshire, and when is the election? When's the big day? When are the folks going to go to the polls?
Well, Jay, I believe tomorrow, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Are you voting? Day. Do you do it? Do you go in there and do it?
Yeah, I just checked online, and I'm still registered in New Hampshire, so here I am.
You know, they don't want people, I think it's the Republicans that don't want people to vote online. It would be too easy and all this stuff. And the Democrats, I think, want, this has been going on forever. Wouldn't it be so, don't you think we would get, I think, you know, the whole turnout sometimes about 30 or 40%, which is actually kind of high. Wouldn't it be great if you just went online, you voted? I mean, we do everything else online, you know?
Yeah, super simple. I haven't stepped in a mall in 10 years. You could get
I wonder why I mail mine in, you know, I do absentee. I wonder why.
Now, which state are you absentee with, Trent?
California.
Oh, California, okay.
Louisiana, North Carolina. Yeah.
So 3 of them.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm a landowner.
Nice.
I'm a landowner. That's right.
Yes, sir. That's why I'm calling, my friend.
That's right. I'm a white landowner, and you know in North Carolina you get to vote twice if you're a white landowner. I don't know that or not.
I didn't. It's an original 13 colony, too, so congratulations.
So what did you call about now from New Hampshire? Who's going to win this thing? Tell us who's going to win.
Really up in the air, Jay. I could go many directions. So I'd like to leave it to you, my friend. My vote is for sale. So.
Is that what you called to tell me?
Yes, sir.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Call with something interesting. Good God almighty. Was Bernie Sanders any good on Saturday Night Live? A lot of folks didn't like the whole show itself, Steve. Did you watch it? Did you find it?
I did watch SNL.
Larry David? Was Larry funny? Larry do anything funny?
I thought I wasn't a huge Curb fan, but they did do a Burn Your Enthusiasm where he was basically playing Bernie Sanders as himself in Curb Your Enthusiasm. So that was kind of amusing. And then there was another skit.
Kind of amusing?
Yeah, I'm not a huge Larry Sanders fan.
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
Huh. Yeah.
So I didn't find any of it funny. The only thing I found funny was the news when they were talking about the weird entrance during the debate.
So that was when Carson didn't hear his name.
No, they announced his name, and he was doing this like slow, really slow walk, and then he just stopped. Like I guess he thought he got to a mark and stopped, and the camera would zoom in on him. But then he stopped walking, and then all of a sudden he slowly started walking, and they're like, "Okay, Ted Cruz," and Ted. So he stops and he waves Ted Cruz past him. Ted Cruz just goes, "Okay," keeps moving, walks up to the podium. And then you see a stagehand from the back, like, stick his head out, and he's just, like, waving to him, like, go, go, go. And he's just looking at him like, what? And the guy, like, throws his hands up in the air, and he's like, whatever.
It's basically every kid's kindergarten graduation.
And then they come back, and it's Donald Trump standing next to Bernie Sanders, like two
being
kids.
Nice,
like that.
right?
Yeah.
He was like,
well, that's what people are
polite.
saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of me thinks
I think he was probably
just
doing
as
it like to be a dick
confused as everybody else.
And then they announced Jeb Bush, and he just walks right past him, pats Trump on the shoulder, gives him a weird look, and he's like, all right, and I'm going to keep moving.
And then the moderators go, ladies and gentlemen, your candidates for the 2016 debate. And Chris Christie goes, well, what about, what's his name? Kasich. Can I introduce? They forgot him completely.
Jesus.
And then they call him out. It was such a shit
do we have
show.
anything on Saturday Night Live that's worth a shit? Anything?
I didn't see it, so I don't know.
I can play the...
Just play something.
All right, hold on.
Play anything. I hate this dead air. Can't have dead air like this. Looking, you know.
I come from a wealthy family. Technically, my life is worth more than all of yours put together, especially these women and midgets. So if it's all the same to you, I'm gonna pop down in that lifeboat.
Hold on, wait a second.
That's the real Bernie Sanders.
so sick of the 1% getting this preferential treatment. Enough is enough. We need to unite and work together if we're all going to get through this.
Sounds like socialism to me.
Democratic socialism.
What's the difference?
Huge difference.
Huge?
Huge.
Huge with a Y, eh? Who are you?
I am Bernie Sanders-Witzky. But we're going to change it when we get to America so it doesn't sound quite so Jewish.
Yeah.
Wow.
That'll trick 'em.
Hold on, everyone! I've got great news! What we crossed into was Liberty Island! We're in New York! Everyone off the boat! Look at that!
Oh, man, not bad!
Share a cab?
I think we've talked enough.
All right. You're right, Steve. That was,
Yeah, no.
Why didn't Larry David just talk normally? He sounds like...
That is the way he talks.
Bernie Sanders anyway, so... Yeah, anyway, and I guess this helps Bernie Sanders with, the young people like him and everything else. Hillary was on there too, right? Wasn't she on there?
Not this weekend.
She's been on there before, though. Her and Kate McKinnon did a whole thing.
And Donald Trump has been on, right?
It can't hurt. I mean, I want to see the candidate have a sense of humor, so...
Any of the other ones? Ted... By the way,
I don't think any of the other ones.
Ted Cruz and his wife, his wife is really a huge job, hundreds of thousands of dollars type job, maybe, who knows, maybe millions, I don't know. But she was, huge. They have to show everybody what they've done. They have given less than 1% to charity, and they've given no money to a church. None. And he said the reason why they don't give anything is saving it for his children's future and their school. But they're not charitable at all. Like my bookie has a little bit of a tick. So when I write him the check, I put on the bottom that it's for a charity that's against ticks. It's a tick charity. I at least put a little note there. So if you look through you'll see me giving charitable gifts to people. I write, if I see a guy with a limp and I owe him money, I do some sort of a crippled person charity. I just put it in the bottom. I don't think I write it off. But in case anybody wants, I wonder if my accountant even thinks that's a real charity. I'll put Limptheria. I'll put Limptheria on there, a Limptheria fundraiser or something. And it's, some guy paid $500 or something that's not, tax deductible or something. By the way, my love of emotional animals. Did I tell you about the woman who flew from Seattle to Salt Lake City? And she flew with, Christina, did I send you this woman, Jody Smalley?
Yes.
She has an emotional support turkey?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
Is she going to come on?
I haven't been able to reach her yet, but I'm working on it.
I bet you. She says that when she flies with the turkey, it helps her cope with her depression and her anxiety about flying. Well, now here's what's weird. Turkeys don't fly that well. and she... it wears a special diaper, and it sits quietly in her lap for 2 to 4 hours, and it made friends with everybody, and they gave the turkey little wings and everything else. Now, I'm sorry, but yeah, I think but I'd love to have the woman on. I would absolutely.
Did you see the picture of her wheeling the turkey, pushing the turkey in the?
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't think that you. I don't
know how long turkeys live. I don't know how long they live, but that bird flu.
What about the turkey?
I don't know.
Calms her down. You think? Is it the tryptophan?
You can't have peanuts on there because of peanut allergies. But aren't people allergic to all sorts of animals that are then...
my dog's hypoallergenic. She should be able to.
You can get a bird flu or something like that.
There are people who
man. See if you can find the people that are making sleeping dragons. These are these plastic tubes that when you lay down in the street now, you don't just hold arms. You put your arm and your hands in these plastic tubes. What's that movie that Smith made about? It was with Ben. Was it with Ben Affleck? Yeah. And he liked the woman, but she was a lesbian, and she fucked a bunch of guys.
Chasing
and
Amy.
They called her. Chasing Amy. But what's the thing? You put your fingers in it. The Chinese
finger cuffs. Chinese finger
That's what they called her, right? They
called
we had her.
We had her straight up in a Chinese finger cuff. Yeah. So it's the
That's
sex
right.
act,
Because they were screwing. Yeah, a bunch of guys were screwing her or something like that. So they've made that now. So Christina, look at the people that make the sleeping dragons.
Okay.
Imagine making something that you can lay down in the fucking street. I don't get why the cops get all upset. Let them fucking lay there. Just let them lay there. And, I wouldn't even send the police when they do that. Just let them lay. Or you know what they ought to do is bring dogs over to them and shit. And put little hydrants near them and shit. Let the dogs piss all over them. I have to tell you, except perhaps back in the civil rights movement and maybe to stop the Vietnam War and stuff like that, I don't remember any protesters I was really very crazy about. The worst ones ever were the Occupy people. They were the worst. They had no plan. They were full of shit. And every time I went down in New York, I went in North Carolina, and I went in New Orleans, and they were just the biggest assholes with absolutely no plan that I could see. And it was kind of like, oh, we hate them up there. Many people say that there were people that were looking for jobs down below on Wall Street, and a couple of them left I think they left the demonstration when they got hired. They just went right upstairs. So, yeah, I hated that one. Oh, yeah, if I was a cop and you were demonstrating and I didn't agree with your demonstration thing, I would take my club, or as they say down south, my billy club, and, right where this dragon sleeve is holding their hands, that would make their knuckles and everything. I wouldn't even have to worry about aiming. I just beat the piss out of that thing. Beat the shit out of it. And they're always fucking these women with hair under their arms and shit. Please stop. I've never looked at a demonstration and said, oh, I'm going to start doing that. It's made me go in the other direction. The Church of Scientology called me the other day. I think somebody out there gave them my name, asshole, and they called me. I went absolutely nuts on this woman. Nuts. I told her she was an idiot, and how could she be a member of this thing? Are you crazy? And where did you get my number? And, jam it up your ass and the whole... She just kept talking and reading the paper. Just reading whatever the friggin' paper was. She wouldn't stop. It makes me... And if you call to sell me something, I'll never buy that thing. Ever. Ever. And a robocall for a politician. It's amazing. People hate those fucking things. And I think a lot of people dislike demonstrators. They dislike them. And I know that if I'm driving and it's a worthy demonstration, but you slow me down, I don't like you. I don't like you at all. I don't know. I don't think I'm any party anymore. I'm nothing. I'm not a nice person, I know that. There's got to be a party for people like me. We just dislike everything, and we want everything for ourselves. And then there's a whole nother group. I'd like to be like in a 14% group. There's the 1%, then there's the top 2, and then there'd be it would be like flying business class. You're not in economy exactly, and you're certainly not in the first class. But I need a party that's business class, where my kind of people
want to be like business in the front, party in the back.
We don't like demonstrations and we would like to decide who gets what money, and you know what I mean? but we'll be kind of kind about it,
Mm-hmm.
We're like somewhere in the middle. That kind of party, like that. I mean, do you like demonstrations? You like when the president comes to town, you can't get anywhere?
Oh, I hate it.
Me too.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Especially in a big city, because they knock all the streets off. You're not allowed to even walk near the street.
That's right.
And then he's not even on that street because they're trying to trick you. He's somewhere else completely.
Right, because
I slept in Newark Airport at the Dunkin' Donuts because of the Pope. So if I hadn't already stopped being a practicing Catholic, I would have that night. I had to hold my briefcase to my chest for fear this half-naked, kind of homeless guy was going to do something to me. And the food at Dunkin' Donuts, not the donuts, but some sort of a sandwich I tried to have for a little protein.
Shouldn't have done that.
Yep.
No.
You should never do that.
You've heard me talk about my sleep number. It's 95 because I want it nice and hard. Thank you. My sleep number bed has changed my life, and you've heard me talk about it for a long time. Now, you think you can't afford one? Well, now you can afford a sleep number bed because you can no longer afford another restless night's sleep. Here's great news. During the Ultimate Sleep event, you can save 50% on a limited edition bed. Now, my sleep number and my partner's sleep number are married to a man. The sleep number bed lets both of us have the ideal comfort for each side. Okay? You okay over there, Roger? All right. Okay. So now you can track how you sleep. You can optimize the number of your sleep number bed. You can adjust it every night if you want to. And you make some different lifestyle changes, and there you go. Your life, hopefully, will get a lot better. And you'll only find a sleep number bed and a store at one of the 450 Sleep Number stores right now if you go to sleepnumber.com. And now a limited edition bed, the Queen C2 mattress, is only $599.99. No better sleep with a Sleep Number bed, and your Sleep Number bed is waiting for you at sleepnumber.com. And be sure to tell them that Jay Thomas has sent you.
The Jay Thomas Show, here to serve the people.
Well, thank you, James. Thank you for your service.
SiriusXM, Comedy Greats, Channel 94, and on the SiriusXM app.
Steph Curry.
Dunked it with the left hand. Curry.
LeBron James.
Brilliant sword. Tough shot by LeBron.
The NBA's best converge upon Toronto for All-Star Weekend. And the best coverage is on SiriusXM NBA Radio. Exclusive interviews with the All-Stars.
We welcome Kobe Bryant off the dribble.
And live broadcasts from all the marquee events. Then, Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, the stars collide in the All-Star Game on NBA Radio. Sirius 207, XM86.
Hey guys, Michelle Tafoya here. Hey, instead of stressing out about what to give her for Valentine's Day, how about giving yourself the gift of a smooth, sexy hairline? If you've got flowing locks like a certain Green Bay linebacker, I'm not talking to you. This is for the guys who are balding or have thinning hair. When you feel confident, people have confidence in you. And that's why you should talk to Good Look Inc. today. People from all over the world go to Good Look Inc. to get that strong, energetic look that says, sure, I could have a full head of hair, but I choose to shave it. I've personally seen it, felt it, and love the tight buzz looks of men who've had it done. There's no drugs, no surgery, and no maintenance. Check out the photos at goodlookinc.com today. Then schedule a free one-on-one consultation. Give yourself the gift of confidence today by going to goodlookinc.com. Oh, and, get something nice for her, too. I don't want to get into trouble.
I started drinking when I was 13, and alcohol eventually led to cocaine, ecstasy, and meth. The result was multiple brushes with the law, a fed-up family, and bleeding ulcers so bad that I couldn't eat or sleep. I was a bright kid with a lot of potential, but drug addiction had taken away everything that I valued. Finally, my loving grandmother had enough and gave me an ultimatum. Go to rehab or get out. And thank God she did. My life is so much better now. I'm a recovery advocate for the I Recover helpline, and I get to help people who are sick like I was. Alcohol and drug abuse destroys families, but there is a solution. I've seen firsthand how well iRecover works, and if you call now, we will pay for your flight to the newest iRecover Treatment Center in Palm Springs, California. My name is Thomas, and you can speak with me at 877-415-6764. That's 877-415-6764. Call 877-415-6764 or visit iRecoverHelpline.com. That's iRecoverHelpline.com.
Wake up, everybody. Today's the big Bennington family ice fishing trip.
I hate getting up this early.
I hate ice fishing and her.
What if I told you we're up in time to listen to the Bennington replay? It airs weekdays 3 a.m. East on Raw Dog 99.
She's right, guys. They do say the early bird catches the worm.
And that worm catches the fish.
I see now why you're such a morning person. It's for the Bennington replay.
Yeah, that and the cocaine.
Bennington replay, weekdays 3 a.m. East on Raw Dog 99.
Sirius XM Comedy Greats.
What's so bloody funny? Well, it's the Jay Thomas Show on Sirius XM Comedy Greats.
Oh, yeah! As we celebrate hip-hop, baby! Yeah, it's Ghostface and the Man Can't Complain! Like my squad in the Super Bowl! Oh, yeah! Like we banging on New Year's Eve, y'all!
Tell you what, Cam Newton wasn't doing much smiling yesterday. I can tell you that. Wow. Man, they were chasing his ass all over the place. It was pretty, that's coaching. I mean, that's Wade Phillips. But that definitely is coaching. They just figured something out and were able to get in there. And this kid was used to standing back there for like ever and ever. And I think that his coach, Mike Shula, is a great offensive coach. And that he couldn't figure it out was pretty crazy, It's like I boxed, and maybe first couple of times I fought, they were okay. It was okay. And then I fought a guy that hit me 2 or 3 times, like right off the bat, like really hard. And you have another 3 rounds to go. I had no interest at all. And in the middle of the first round was very sorry that I ever had taken boxing up. It was like blood, stars, it hurts. Oh, that's the worst feeling. And you worked out and you jumped rope and you sweated. They all practiced as hard as, Denver did. Then you get the shit beaten out of you anyway after you ran a long way. Like Christina, you'd work out, lose weight and everything else, and then you go do something and you're still tired. And you're still hungry.
Yes. Always.
Doesn't change.
Never.
Who's waiting to talk to?
Richard
the
in
philosopher.
San Francisco.
Wow, from the Super Bowl. Good God Almighty, Richard. Richard, what was it like there? What was it? A lot of white slavers in town, selling women to the Super Bowl fans?
Oh, God, I don't know. I live in the Castro, and I was just like a long way from that, I'm not into that football thing.
You know what I said earlier? Most fun in the world is go to a gay club and watch the Super Bowl. It's the most fun in the world. It is.
Oh, baby. Listen, speaking of that, listen, baby, when you just said the sleep number thing, did you say you like it long and hard?
Yes, I did.
Oh, my God, you're going to love Ricardo. Hey, could you meet me at the Dunkin' Donuts on Castro?
Your name is Ricardo?
Woohoo! I think he's only Ricardo when he meets people at the Dunkin' Donuts.
Even if I wanted to be gay, I really don't know how many years it would take me to get used to having anything really deep inside of me. I might be able, like a little licking or something like that, but I don't think I could ever take the. I couldn't take the. Well, I'm not going to call you, but I couldn't take the full. I don't think I could take the full Monty. Anyway. I think I could. But are there some gay guys?
I think you
that
could take the full.
No,
I think you could.
Oh
look,
my God, 10 minutes
listen.
with my 8 inches. You would never.
No, I don't like. I'm the rider, baby. I'm not the ridee. Okay.
Call me.
I'm not. Hey, listen. Hey, listen, I'm the rider, not the Bronco bull. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, baby.
Huh?
Nobody knows what you're saying.
You think I could stay on you 8 seconds?
Baby, say it one more time.
I'd have you.
Ricardo's driving his car with his dick right now.
Well, what a wonderful... Thank you, Christina. You steal my fucking line right in front of me. All right, what a wonderful way to end a family show. And we'll do it again when it's time to do it again. It's Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Hopefully you'll hear from me again because I plan not to sleep for the next 24 hours.
Don't
All right. I won't.
On the telephone.
I smell cinnamon toast.
Every February, the serenity of a warm Florida beach is overwhelmed by NASCAR's thunder. It's Speed Week, live from Daytona, and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio takes you there with the latest news and driver interviews. And the racing season begins with live coverage of the Sprint Unlimited and Daytona pole qualifying. NASCAR Speed Weeks, live from Daytona, exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Hey guys, Michelle Tafoya here. Hey, instead of stressing out about what to give her for Valentine's Day, how about giving yourself the gift of a smooth, sexy hairline? If you've got flowing locks like a certain Green Bay linebacker, I'm not talking to you. This is for the guys who are balding or have thinning hair. When you feel confident, people have confidence in why. You should talk to Good Look Inc. today. People from all over the world go to Good Look Inc. to get that strong, energetic look that says, sure, I could have a full head of hair, but I choose to shave it. I've personally seen it, felt it, and love the tight buzz looks of men who've had it done. There's no drugs, no surgery, and no maintenance. Check out the photos at goodlookinc.com today. Then schedule a free one-on-one consultation. Give yourself the gift of confidence today by going to goodlookinc.com. Oh, and, get something nice for her, too. I don't want to get into trouble.
Yoo-hoo! Deadpool here. What do you say we pretend you don't have the attention span of a titmouse and check out my commercial? People always ask, hey, DP, did you grow up wanting to be a superhero? Next thing you know, it's, hey, DP, kill my stepdad. Hey, DP, marry my mom. Anyway, I've got places to be and bad guys to kill.
Wait! I only have 12 bullets, so you're gonna have to share.
This Friday, rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent. Experience it in IMAX.
You know your kids are smart, but did you know enrolling them in Kumon can make them even smarter? Like 10-year-old Christine.
I went to Johns Hopkins and I took a geometry class.
The Kumon method is designed to put your children ahead of their peers in math and reading.
I've been doing Kumon since I was 3.5 years old. Right now we're doing the Pythagorean theorem.
To learn more, visit Kumon.com and join us for a free parent orientation. That's Kumon.com. Kumon, where smart kids get smarter.
It's pretty much just us rednecks.
SiriusXM has your chance to win a pair of tickets to Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy's We've Been Thinking Tour, powered by SiriusXM.
That's right.
Plus, meet the guys at the show.
You're getting older when you open the bathroom door and you say to somebody, that's where the magic happens.
Her brother got his nipple bitten off by a beaver.
For official rules and to enter, go to SiriusXM.com/Jeff and Larry Tour before April 18th. No purchase necessary.
This is SiriusXM Comedy Grace.